can you beat a good team twice? We played one of our best games of the year at Ole Miss, going back and looking at that game. And Ole Miss played really well there as well. That was one of the best wins we've had in the league. And then coming off the heels of the, beating Georgia on Saturday, we took a look at the schedule. For the first time all year, I probably looked at more than just the next game. And I looked at Ole Miss at home, at Kentucky, where we haven't won since 1988, at Texas A&M, and then home against Alabama, and figured, we pretty much better get this one because they're all going to be tough. And I thought that obviously we played so well offensively, shot it so well, shared it so well. I just think that the pieces, there's just some really special pieces. Chad Baker gets off to a phenomenal start. Wasn't able to practice yesterday because he had a stomach virus, and he's on IVs last night and this morning, and battled back, played great. Janai was dominant on the inside. I love our shooting percentages. I thought that we just shot the ball and shared it. We shot it and shared it. And as a result, we put up a pretty big number.
Jonathan, and then Nathan.
Yeah, Coach, obviously a really efficient day today for Janai and Chad. When both those guys are going like that, how hard is that to stop for opposing teams?
I mean, those are two of our best players for sure. And they both played great tonight. They were both really, really efficient. I thought our transition defense left a lot to be desired. And so we got some stuff to work on there. But, and again, it would continue to foul too much. Ole Miss shot 35 free throws at Ole Miss. They shot 31 tonight. So we've got to defend without fouling. When I say that, it's not a criticism of the officials. We've got to do a better job of defending without fouling.
Bruce, you talk about matchups a lot. Lots of points for you guys in these two meetings. It's Ole Miss. Anything specifically that you see?
Size matters. It's just, we're bigger. And it matters in basketball, and it matters in jewelry. Size matters.
Right, Henry, and then Jacob.
Bruce, after kind of struggling to shoot from deep for about a month, y'all kind of finally figured out in a home game. Was there anything to that, or was it just as simple as hitting shots?
I don't know. I mean, I thought we got good, clean looks, and it felt like Chad shot confidently, Denver shot confidently, Miles shot confidently, and we got to get to Todd seeing it a little bit. Last couple games, he's not shot it as well. He'll get back to it, but he had 6 assists and 1 turnover, so he distributed the ball so well. So, no, I think it bodes well for us. We're a good shooting team.
All right, Jacob, and then Ferg, and then Julian in the back.
Other than a 30-point win against an SEC team at home here down the stretch, what is it about a game like this when your team performs the way they do that shows you they can win in March, which comes up in just a couple of days?
Yeah, I mean, they were locked in. They recognize this is the second last home game in Neville Arena this year. This was the second to last time our fans are going to be able to see them up close and personal and just enjoy the quality of their play. And I think that created a bit of a sense of urgency.
Ferg, and then Julian in the back.
Bruce, we talked about the turnovers. Yeah, yesterday the turnover battle was the first time all year Ole Miss has lost a turnover battle in a game. How key was that in the way this game went?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at their run at the end of the first half, we had 4 turnovers in a row. Or 4 or 5 turnovers in the last couple minutes, and bam, just they scored 26 points in the last 8 minutes of the half, and so, we just did a better job of taking care of the ball, and we ran good stuff. Mike Burgermaster is, just does a tremendous job, play calling, and fitting in the things that we do well, and it's all about going at certain matchups. And I thought, for the most part, the guys trusted us to put them in the right spots, and they made the plays.
All right, Julian, Mike, and then Philip.
Coach, you've talked about making history and how good this league is. This is the best start, a program record for the best start through 15 games in the SEC. Can you speak to just what your guys have done, what they've been able to do this season, and kind of what it means to reach that mark?
So this is the best 15-game start?
14-1. 98-99 was 13-2, I believe.
And that's for Auburn?
That's for Auburn.
Okay, yeah. Well, but they don't play 15, they play 18. So come seek me out after the 18th game.
Mike and then Philip.
But thanks for letting me know that. I appreciate that.
Coach Chris Beard said a second ago, if you had showed him the stats before the game, he would have thought they would have at least had a chance. You guys have let teams back in at times. Can you talk about what it was like to just kind of put the foot to the gas there in the second half?
Well, I thought that I got such respect for Coach Beard and his staff that I knew they weren't going to go away, and I knew they'd have a really good game plan. They changed some things up for the first time we guarded them, but again, just the fact that we have Cheney and Janai and Dylan are all tough matchups for them on the inside, and I was just pleased with the shooting percentages. Janai's 7 for 12, and Cheney is 5 for 6, and Dylan's 2 for 2. I mean, and I thought our bigs did a good job of sharing the ball with each other too. So, but to only turn over 8 times against Ole Miss it's hard to do.
Bruce, you talking about going to Lexington, and it not only has been 37 years since Auburn won there, they've only won there twice ever. And your Final Four team had a hard time up there. What makes it so difficult to play up there beyond just that they're usually good?
Yeah, I would say that, obviously it's a huge building. They have a very, very knowledgeable fan base. They know the game. They have an expectation to beat you. They're always very, very talented. Coach Pope, they're the 5th best offensive team in the country. He's a brilliant offensive coach, and he's got a dangerous team because of the way they shoot the basketball. And they run the most advanced 5-out system, in our game today. But I think the reason why we have not won there is because historically, Kentucky's been the best team in the league, and historically, we haven't been one of the best teams in the league over a long period of time. But we're trying to put a dent in that right now.
All right, 2 more questions, Peter, and then for
Bruce, this game puts Dylan tied as the winningest player in Auburn history. Can you just describe what he's meant to this program over the last 5 years?
I would just love for you to open up a dictionary or some book and look up the definition of Auburn basketball and see Dylan Cardwell going like this. I think that would be okay. Dylan called me Sunday, and I saw him at church, and I thought he wanted to talk about the scriptures, but instead he said, "Coach, we got to win this game Wednesday, and what do we need to do to get our guys to lock in, right? Talk about leadership, I think the thing from Dylan Cardwell's standpoint, he barely played as a high school junior because he was at Oak Hill Academy playing behind Kofi Cockburn. Then he transfers to McEachern to try to play with Sharif Cooper and some dear friends of his. And, some athletic board in Georgia thought it was really a good idea to not let the kid play because he didn't transfer the right way. That was a great decision, pal. And so he doesn't play as a senior. And we take him anyways because we saw a young man that wanted to work hard, that had been overlooked, but he had that size, he had some speed, he had some ability, and he just kept on chopping wood. He just kept on working at his game. He's one of our hardest workers. And he fell in love with Auburn, and Auburn fell in love with him. It's an incredible relationship. And so many other players would have left. Walker Kessler's coming in, I'm out of here. Janai Broom's coming in, I'm out of here. And he stayed, and he was willing to come off the bench. And then last year in the spring, if Janai was going to come back, he's got to go, right? But I promised them both. I said, if you guys both come back, I'll start you together, and we'll play you together. And we worked on it all summer long, and it was not working at all, at all. And those guys, to their credit, absolutely made it work. And I swear, you guys got to go back. You got to find Dylan's interview in Maui. We need to almost retweet it and find that interview again And seriously, and when he talked about how he looked at Janai as a threat, and Janai's success obviously meant he's going to play less, so therefore human nature says, and Dylan didn't like himself. I'm better than that. I'm a better Christian than that. I'm a better man than that. I was raised better than that. And so he started to pray for Janai. Instead of praying for Janai not to have success so he'd play more. And he felt better about himself. And then he started playing better. And so it's just a great story of a kid that decided to fight, not flee.
Berg, and then Philip with the last one.
Bruce, middle of the game, Ole Miss got going on offense, and then they're in the second half. I think they go like 2 of 12 for a stretch, and y'all build that lead up to like 25, 30. Just what was different there with your defense in that part, being able to kind of lock down and slow them down there in the middle of the second half?
I think Ole Miss does a great job at isolating you and really attacking closeouts. You could tell that they wanted to attack Janai's closeout. They wanted to get certain matchups and attack a closeout. And so as a result, they make tough plays. They can make tough twos. They can make tough shots, make tough pull-ups. The key is to not let them get going from 3. That's the key. And so you have to live with some fouls. You have to live with some tough twos. But if you let Padula and if you let Murray and if you let Matthew Morrell get too comfortable from behind that line, they're going to make you pay.
First, Cheney Johnson may be one of the most unusual stories on this team.
Yeah.
Where he came from. If you could just talk about that and what he's become, and also in a different place. There have been at least a couple of football players who played in Division II and got another year of eligibility as a result. Will he try to do that?
Yeah, I mean, we're certainly going to go through the process about seeing whether or not Cheney would be eligible for another year. We're definitely going to go through the process. Yeah, I mean, Cheney's he's the great American story. Start from humble beginnings. It's not where you start; it's where you finish. And hard work won't guarantee you success. But without hard work, I guarantee you won't have success. It's your choice. Cheney Johnson has chosen to work hard. And so when you prepare and you work hard, that gives you confidence. Even though you were a Division II player, even though you're not supposed to play in the SEC, his preparation is what gives him confidence. Nobody works harder. And, he's a real matchup problem because he can do things inside and out. He can guard multiple positions. I just got to get him to play without getting himself in foul trouble.